If you don't know what time you were born, you've met the wall every chart form puts up, the birth time box, and nothing to type in it. Here's the answer up front. Most of your chart works fine without it. One slice breaks completely. You're about to see exactly which is which, plus 3 ways to get a usable chart when the time is lost. This is the Birth Chart Lab, where you learn to read your own chart one piece at a time. Today, what your birth date alone locks in, what only a clock time can give you, and where to look when nobody wrote yours down. Start with what survives. Your planets barely move across a single day. The Sun crawls about 1 degree in 24 hours. Venus and Mars cover less than 2, and the outer planets barely register. So whether you arrived at 6 in the morning or 11 at night, those planets sit in the same signs. Your Sun sign, your Mercury, your Venus, your Mars, everything's slower. The date alone pins them. Most of your aspects hold too. Aspects, the planet-to-planet angles from video 8, depend on where the planets sit, and since the planets barely drift in a day, the angles between them barely drift either. A trine at breakfast is still a trine at midnight. Any aspect that skips the moon travels with you no matter what hour you claim. The moon is the one planet that can punish a missing birth time. It covers around 13 degrees a day, the sign every 2.5 days paced from the sun and moon video, which means some days it crosses into a new sign partway through. Born on a boundary day, you could carry either of 2 moon signs, and only the clock decides. So if a chart cast without a time shows your moon very early or very late in its sign, hold it loosely and read both candidates to feel which one is you. Now, the part that breaks. Your rising sign is the sign climbing the eastern horizon at the minute you arrived, and the horizon moves into a new sign roughly every 2 hours. All 12 cycle past in one day. That's why a chart wants date, time, and place, the 3 facts from video 4. Your birth city matters for the same reason. The wheel is pinned to one spot on a turning Earth. No time means no rising sign. Not a rough one. None. And the rising sign doesn't fall alone. House 1 opens at your ascendant, and the other 11 houses fan out from it, so the whole house wheel hangs on that single minute. Take Maya, the chart this series works with. Born at 6:42 in the morning in Chicago, her ascendant lands at 9 degrees Aries, and every house cusp follows from that point. Shift her clock a couple of hours and the wheel turns underneath her planets. They keep their signs. They slide into different houses, which means every question shaped like, which house is my Venus in, dies without a time. So, where do you find a lost time? Paper first. The long-form birth certificate is the version that usually carries a time, and the short form usually doesn't. So request the long form from the county or state where you were born. Beyond that, try the hospital's records office, a baby book, or the people who were in the room. Even a rough memory earns its keep. Just before dawn, during the night shift, right after lunch, each of those cuts, 12 possible rising signs down to 2 or 3. No record anywhere? Cast a noon chart. You enter 12 o'clock as the birth time, not because you believe it, but because noon sits in the middle of the day, so the fast-moving moon lands within about 7 degrees of the truth, its smallest possible miss. Then you read with discipline. Planets and signs and the aspects between them, yes. Houses and the rising sign, off the table. There's an older move called the sunrise chart. You set the birth time to local sunrise, which puts the sun right on the ascendant and reads the day as if it opened with you. And when the stakes justify the effort, there's rectification, where an astrologer works backward from the dated turning points of your life to the birth time that fits them best. That one is specialist work. Know it exists, hire it if you need it, and don't expect to learn it from a video. If this settled why your rising sign never felt certain, a tap on the like button sends it to the next person staring at an empty birth time box. One thing before you go hunting records. However precise your time turns out to be, the chart it casts works like a mirror. It shows you what's there, it doesn't decide what happens next. Let it sharpen the questions you ask about your life and take the decisions that carry real weight to people qualified to advise you. So, the short version. Your birth date alone locks in your planet's signs and most of your aspects. Your moon can wobble on boundary days. Your rising sign and all 12 houses need the clock. And when the clock is lost, you work the paper trail, cast a noon chart, or bring in a rectifier. When you do have your time, use all of it, minutes included. The chart in this video was cast in Mystic Almanac. Free link in the description. That settles the birth time question. Subscribe for the next piece of your chart. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.